I would like to hear from maybe two more people. Distinguished Senator Alero, in case you have personal experience, if you have been doing. You have? Yes, it happens. Is it with the last one they call MMM?
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I want to add that Nigerians that patronize these Ponzi schemes are also at fault because they look at tempting offers that promise quick returns and they easily fall into prey. So it falls on us, we the legislators, to also sensitize our people not to patronize these Ponzi schemes. And Mr. President, the failure of regulatory agencies is very evident. The CBN, the Security and Exchange Commission, the EFCC, and other regulators are also at fault because they fail to monitor whatever these people are doing. And that's why millions of Nigerians have been defrauded, except in the motion, some have even committed suicide. We cannot afford to continue to watch this kind of thing happening in our economy without taking stringent measures to stop them. Mr. President, I support fully the conduct of public hearing. And what has been mentioned, $847 million, is a small amount. And this is why even foreign investment is eluding this country. If Nigerians are being duped close to about 1 billion, why should a foreigner come and invest? We have to do whatever we can to sanitize the economy by getting rid of these fraudsters. If they exist, honestly speaking, it will affect foreign direct investment. So I support fully the conduct of public hearing, and all of us should participate in that public hearing. And we should mark enough publicity and sensitize Nigerians that they should come forward and air their views on this. Thank you, Mr. President.
Effect on the people of Nigeria. Mr. President, yes, this is not the first time that issues like this is happening. And I know that there was an attempt by the last administration while amending the Finance Act in 2022 to ensure that all online transactions that they pay some taxes on the online transaction. We made this several attempts, and that was when Nigeria had issues with Facebook, with other online businesses, just in an attempt to ensure that we can regulate their activities as far as Nigeria is concerned. Mr. President, Ponzi or whatever this is called is just one out of the numerous online payments that we have. Many of our Gen Z of this world no longer go to the banks. They patronize all these online payment system. A lot of them. Ponzi is just one out of the numerous online payments, and hiding under the language, the fintech, that you go through the fintech, that you pay through the fintech and you make this a pause. They call it pause. You just drop money there, the following money you get the money somewhere else. And they have taken advantage of us as a nation because the regulation is not there. Because I wondered how this monumental fraud will happen to Nigeria when we have a regulator, the Central Bank of Nigeria, in place. And that was why I'm supporting this investigative hearing, because we are only going to be looking at Ponzi, but we have so many other online payment platforms that is not mentioned. So we want to ask Central Bank, what are the regulations that you have put in place to protect Nigerians against all these kind of transactions? No other countries of the world you can embark on this kind of item of transaction without necessary regulation in place. We need to find out from the Central Bank of Nigeria. We need to. Aside punishing or going after Ponzi, which is one out of the numerous, you can testify that this is not the first or second or third time. And we can't continue in this trend. So whatever is embedded or covered under this body of this motion is just a way to draw the attention of this Nigerian Senate that Nigeria can no longer continue to be defrauded by all these online payment, online platforms. So, Mr. President, I'm in total support of this motion, that we carry out this investigative hearing so that we can address this matter once and for all. And also, the cyber security, all this IT, our information technology, we need to find out, what are they doing? What are they doing? Are we saying Nigeria is that porous at all levels? To the extent that Nigeria has lost millions and billions in naira, in dollars, trillions. So, Mr. President, very distinguished colleague, this is one motion we should all support, and we should all be interested in investigative hearing. We need to all be there to let's speak to the truth and address these issues once and for all. Mr. President, this will also submit.
Thank you. Actually, I would
hearing into the operations of Ponzi schemes in Nigeria, with particular reference to the recent crypto bullion exchange CBEX incident. This motion is co-sponsored by my good self and Senator Osita Izunazo. Mr. President and my distinguished colleagues, aware that the economic well-being and financial security of Nigerian citizens are essential pillars of national stability and growth, and that it is the duty of government to protect the populace from exploitative, predatory, and fraudulent financial practices and schemes that threaten their livelihoods. Deeply concerned about the rapid proliferation and alarming rise of unregulated and fraudulent investment schemes, commonly known as Ponzi or pyramid schemes, such as MMM Nigeria in 2016, MBA Forex in 2020, to mention a few, which have repeatedly defrauded millions of Nigerians, causing severe financial hardship and, in some cases, driving victims to depression, family breakdowns, and even suicide. Note in particular the recent case of crypto bullion exchange CBEX, a digital investment platform which lured millions of Nigerians with the promise of outrageous returns before suddenly collapsing and resulting in investors losing over 1.3 trillion and making it one of the most devastating financial scams in the country's history. Further notes that the CBEX incident is not an isolated case, but part of an existing and growing pattern of unregulated and fraudulent schemes that leverages technology, social media to deceive the public, and often using tactics such as referral commissions, celebrity endorsements, and fake testimonials to build credibility and drive recruitment. And shocked that despite the scale of operations and visibility of CBEX, it operated for an extended period without facing sanctions by either the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, the CBN, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, and also EFCC. Alarmed that the lack of coordinated oversight, real-time monitoring, and strict enforcement by relevant agencies has created an enabling environment for such schemes to flourish, eroding public trust in legitimate financial institutions and posing a systemic risk to the economy. Recognizes that the growing sophistication of such fraudulent platforms, combined with low levels of financial literacy and a lack of access to formal investment opportunities, makes the Nigerian population increasingly vulnerable to such schemes. Conscious that Section 8, Sub 1A and B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, empowers the National Assembly to conduct investigations into any matter, and further conscious that these constitutional powers empower the Senate to investigate the failure of regulatory agencies to monitor and prevent the CBEX fraud, as well as to propose necessary legislative and administrative reforms to forestall future occurrences, and alarmed at the increasing sophistication of Ponzi scheme operators and the devastating consequences of their actions, and the need for urgent public education to prevent further exploitation and of unsuspecting citizens. Mindful of the urgent need to protect Nigerian citizens, especially vulnerable groups, from financial predators, by investigating the lapses that allowed CBEX and similar platforms to thrive unchecked, and to recommend robust mechanisms for monitoring, prevention, and prosecution. And resolve to mandate the Joint Senate Committee on Capital Market and Institutions, Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions, Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes, and ICT and Cybercrime to conduct a comprehensive investigative hearing, including public hearing on the operations of Ponzi schemes in Nigeria, and report back in 4 weeks. Mr. President and my distinguished colleagues, I so move. Thank you, Mr. President and my distinguished.
Ponzi schemes has become very, very alarming and goes to the root of our socio-economic well-being, because they take advantage of vulnerable and gullible Nigerians to cash in on that and perpetrate all these crimes that defraud Nigerians of their hard-earned money, and sending some to their early graves. As a parliament that is responsible and responsive to the yearnings and aspirations of the people, that jealously guards and protects the interests of the people, it behoves on us to look at whatever loopholes or lacuna in the existing laws that these Ponzi schemes exploit with a view to perpetrating these illegalities. The laws should not only be amended, but should be strengthened in order to take care of these Ponzi schemes and nip it in the bud. Against this background, I support the prayer embedded in this motion. Thank you.
I think we should speak for 1 minute, because I can see.
I am Sadiq Suleiman Umar. I represent the good and decent people of Kwara North, and we who are. Mr. President, I rise to support this motion because of how important is it to this country. We all know how much people lose money, lose their head, lose their mind, and in fact, some people lost their lives because of such Ponzi acts. Now, my concern is our job as legislators is to protect the people that sent us here to represent them. And we do this by making laws, public investigation, and so on. And let me say that citizens trust their country and their leaders. That's why, for example, any one of us here, you can just move into a supermarket, you see a drink, corked, imported anywhere, you don't even know what is inside, whether it's bacteria, poison, but you buy and pick and drink freely. Why? You trust that you have a government that will protect you with our agencies and regulators. We have to continually monitor any financial scheme to protect citizens by holding the NFIU, for example, CBN is there, EFCC, or SEC, all these agencies, that's their job. They must not allow this to always slip. And since this has been slipping, we, the representative of the people, we have to hold them accountable and make sure that this does not slip again. Thank you very much, Mr.
Senator Lami Lekonde, Senator